What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. This week's Grandmaster Nightfall can be an absolute mess, a terrifying nightmare that will prove to be a challenge to anyone who attempts it. One of the longest Nightfalls and Grandmasters in all of Destiny. But if you're looking at claiming that Conqueror seal this season, you'll need to overcome this beast. And by using the tips, tricks, workarounds, and cheeses that we cover in today's video, you'll be fully capable of conquering the Mars Heist Battlegrounds on Grandmaster difficulty, whether you're attempting it with friends or by yourself. This Grandmaster Nightfall offers the Profanendobscene solar bow, and of course, correct me if I was wrong in pronouncing that. A surprisingly powerful bow that can drop with Archer's tempo and either incandescent or explosive head, with adept versions only coming from Grandmaster completions. This Grandmaster puts you up against the Hive and a few taken enemies, where you'll face unstoppable ogres and barrier knights. There will be a ton of wizards with solar shields and knights with arc shields. You will receive an increase in void and strand damage this week, with heavy machine guns and kinetic weapons getting overcharged. Your enemy receives a surge in solar damage, and the acolytes will be unrelenting with their solar grenades, so solar resistance mods, along with concussive dampener, will be imperative. In light of the weekly surges, I found the Quicksilver Storm and the Wishender to be the most effective against barrier champions, with Malfeasance and Leviathan's Breath being perfect options for the Unstoppables. Strand continues to be a superior subclass choice for both Warlocks and Titans, but Hunters will really want to utilize Void Invisibility. The mixture of Strand suspensions and weakening effects will work out perfectly. With the use of an invisible Omnioculus build, a Hunter will be an extremely useful asset to be able to lock down the 3 zones in the beginning area, to re-establish the hack in the second area, and to deposit the batteries during the boss encounter. When this Nightfall begins, you could start with B, then hit up A, and finally go to C. But C is the most problematic, so what you could do instead is when you load into the Nightfall, don't shoot anything. Skip right by all of these first sets of ads. Use invisibility if you need it. Pass right by all these ads and head towards C Tower. By avoiding all the enemies, you'll be able to capture C with very little resistance from the enemy. Once C has been captured, you'll want to clear out the big Hive Knight before making your way over to Tower B. After defeating the Knight, cap Tower B. Defeat all the enemies that spawn in, and then finally move over to A. A Well of Radiance can certainly help keep your team safe while trying to lock down these towers, but Hunter invisibility is going to be the key. When you start to take down Tower A, you will need to have your supers ready to take down the Death Tongue before he activates the Shrieker. If he does, you're going to have to deal with the Shrieker while not having your abilities. After you've cleared all 3 towers, you'll move inwards into the compound, and you'll need to hack the doorway to get in. But before you can do that, you'll have to defeat several waves of Hive and keep them away from Ghost while he's doing his thing. Since invisible Hunters can easily go down to re-engage the hack, everyone else can chill up on the 2nd floor terrace. You'll have enemies that spawn into your left and right, so you'll need to keep a vigilant eye on them. There will also be some acolytes that will spawn in behind you, but if you stick together and keep your heads on a swivel, you should do just fine. If you're still struggling though, you can stay down at the bottom, outside of the facility where you first came in, and pick everything off from a distance, and then send your invisible Hunter back in when it's clear to re-engage the hack. This will take a little bit longer to complete, but it is certainly safer. After the hack is done, you'll have to cross through a few laser grids and navigate your way outside. To help reduce your exposure to the Seraph Station security system, Titans can use their towering barricades, and Hunters will want to keep the team invisible as much as possible. Before you get into the boss area, you'll have to break the Hive seals off of the doorway in the vault. There are 2 ways that you can handle this room. 1, go to the top and get the relic. shoot off a few of the hive runes, and then go to the left or the right sides to get another relic. Or you can go to the top and do nothing. Wait for the timer to count down on its own, and the door will open on its own. This takes away the heavy ammo crate that would have normally been there if you had removed all of the hive runes. But instead, you'll get a group of enemies that includes an unstoppable and barrier champion, which can be easily handled while you're from the safety of the top area. This method removes any potential death that you could have encountered while trying to navigate to the different sides. Getting 2 extra lives right before going into the boss encounter can be a great thing, especially if it secures your platinum status and if you're already full on heavy. And on we go to the boss encounter. This boss sucks ass. He will wreck you and your entire team with just one good swing of his trusty old axe. So you're going to need to jump onto the server columns that are in the corners of the room. From the front 2 corner columns, you can stand on a small ledge that provides you with great cover from nearly every angle and a perfect shot on the boss throughout the first half of this encounter. If you can manage to grab the boss's aggro, he'll even come right up to the column and stand right below you. If you stay as far back into the ledge that you can, the boss won't be able to hurt you if he slams. And you can just stand there, unloading magazine after magazine right into his head until you trigger the second half of the encounter. This is where things get very chaotic, but if you stick with the columns and just trust your invisible hunters, they will get you through this. Once the second phase begins, Titans and Warlocks can come down off of the columns, drop suspension effects to quickly take out the captains, and then let the invisible hunters carry the batteries back to the depositories. Once you've dunked 5, just return back to your columns, lower the boss in, and peck away at the top of his head until he is no more. Just be sure that you do not try to force more than 1 guardian into a column at once. There's 4 corners and 4 columns that all have matching ledges, so there's plenty for everyone. Between hunter invisibility and the use of these columns, you'll be able to easily clear this boss room and complete this Grandmaster. And with that, we've covered all the ins and outs of this nightmare of a Grandmaster, the Mars Heist Battlegrounds, a doozy of a Nightfall. I wish you all the best of luck throughout this week, throughout your attempts of this Grandmaster. Let me know how they're going in the comments down below. Thank you as always for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. If you're a new Light Guardian, just starting your journey, or a battle-hardened veteran, just looking for a new home, be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below, and join one of the greatest communities in all of Destiny. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.